you are right now facing a roughly said $45K downswing. So how you are facing it, then you are right now in a state where a lot of poker players wants to be. You're playing the high stakes and can live from it. So if there comes a guy who's playing the micros and struggling there with moving up, would there be a specific advice you would give to them?
These people that use this RTA often don't study this, but like they just copy paste, and they don't have really the thinking behind it.
As I was a professional in Counter-Strike, I was banned, which at this time destroys mainly my life because I invested everything in it. And the reason why I was banned was cheating. Like, it was aimbot and wallhack, or they said it, but the human judged this about me. So they didn't have it proof. With Feder Cruz is a scandal, and then 1 week later, they banned a couple of guys because of RTA the first time. Yeah, to be honest, I also think this is bullshit. Hello guys, Sammy here with a new guest, and I'm very happy that he found some time to do our second podcast. He's pretty unknown in the poker world, but he's grinding mostly the high stakes on GTO Poker and Poker Stars. I know him now for, I think, 7 or 8 years. It's crazy.
Long time.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm very happy that you're here, Giovanni. Thanks that you invested the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, and yeah, I'm glad to do this.
All right, cool.
For you, only for you.
Thanks, man. So the first thing where I was thinking about what kind of questions I could ask you was there was a time point in your life where you decided to play poker. So could you explain it, when it was, and what was the main reason that you decided to be a professional poker player and not doing something alternatively? And if you wouldn't play poker or choose this direction, what would you do then?
So the first time I came in touch with poker was like on Christmas, like with the family. We had this like tradition to play always like for a bit of like small money on Christmas and New Year with my like father and like some cousins and brother and stuff. And yeah, there I always thought my father is very good in poker, so I was like always like very respectful when I was playing and everything. And
He
I was
was playing
interested.
poker before, sorry.
Yeah, like just for fun, like on Christmas and stuff with family. That was the first contact with poker. Without that, probably I would never look more into it, because I wanted the first intent to go online was to get better, that I can beat my family in poker.
Really?
So very yes, it's very fun.
Nice.
That I could be that I can beat my father, you know, like yeah.
Okay.
So
It sounds like a butterfly effect. Like a very small event. Like, I don't know, your father decided, hey, let's play on Christmas some poker, which then leads to the current present that you are now a professional poker player and living from it.
yeah, it's crazy. Like if he would not come up with this, or like my I don't know who came up with it, but we just started playing this, and I just wanted to get better. I put in my first money online, and like I didn't know about like professional poker. Like I didn't know that this is possible. So I started to play. Of course, I lost. Like at the beginning, I put like 20 euro, like 50 euro, and like sometimes I played there. And
But you had
then I
fun,
noticed,
or
yes, it was more for fun. Like
yeah.
it was more for fun, like because I really enjoyed the game. But then I noticed that yeah, with time, like that these people like didn't seem like fun players, or like I wanted to get better, and I looked up in YouTube like how to get better in poker, and then I yeah, discovered professional poker. Like the
Mm.
first videos, I think Gripst poker coaching, Gripst was my first videos that I
Mm.
watched. And like the poker bank, I think it's called, like I don't remember, like there I started like with position and stuff, and then my interest was caught there, like um yeah, I just wanted to get better there, and then I started to learn, dig more into it, and but then I stopped it. Like I didn't go fully into it. I just looked into it a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stopped it.
What was the reason
And
for?
I didn't had like I didn't think I could do it probably in this moment. Like I didn't see the opportunity right
Mm.
there, and so I just kept doing my like normal job, and then came a period where I got like very unhappy with my old job,
What was it?
and in the wholesale, like just working like in we were selling like groceries and stuff, like very simple stuff
Okay.
that I really didn't enjoy. So yeah, I got very unhappy in this job. Also, like my body was telling me like this is not a great thing. Like I was like being okay with it, but like my body started to give me some signs. Like I was losing weight. I was like getting a bit depressed because I was not was unhappy with the situation. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, like there was poker. Like maybe I should look in. Something told me I should look more into it, into poker. So I started again. But this time I was like thinking, okay, now I will do it like 100%, not like so. So I did like this, that I came home from work and I was so motivated that I just sit down and play and study. So I was like constantly just like work, poker. So then, yeah, after 3, 4 months doing this, I think I was able to beat like 5 NL, 10 NL, stuff like yeah, I think 10 NL was like this like my biggest enemy back then was 25 NL. That was my biggest
Mm-hmm.
enemy, because the players started to get more aggressive, and yeah, the stuff that I self-taught didn't it was not enough. Like I was stuck there a bit. So then I had like one other friend like that I don't know where I met him, but like online, and he told me about yeah, correct, like your stream. Um there's one guy, he streams, like German guy. He streams 100 NL. He's explaining so good and stuff. And I said, okay, I will look into it.
Very good
And
for the records.
yes, and yeah, then I started like it was I think 2016 or something, like 4 years ago
Mm-hmm.
probably, when I started to watch your stream, and was very interesting how you explained the things, like your thought processes, was very interesting for me, and I had the feeling it was like kind of intuition, like, and also like a bit, I don't know, destiny, I don't know, that this guy,
Mm.
but because without this guy I would probably not discover you, and probably I would maybe lose motivation, or I don't know. This was like really a good yeah, opportunity. I saw a opportunity there, so I started watching your stream, and then I yeah, I texted you I think in Twitch or something, that
Mm.
I would be interested in coaching, and then we start our work. And then I really went full into it, like 1000% or 100. And
Okay.
yeah,
Nice. So summing up, you was playing NL25, was struggling, then you did a coaching with me, and now you're playing NL2K and stuff like this.
Yeah, that
Just
was a bit in between.
never mind about this.
Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Because I also can remember when you wrote me, even 4 or 5 years ago, and in general I wouldn't remember about it, but um, you impressed me with the effort you wanted to put in. Like we had the first hours of our coaching, and mostly it is the case that the guy who's taking the coaching with me expects that I tell him a secret, and then he will crush everything. But you didn't have this expectation. It was like, okay, Chris, please tell me what I have to do to beat this. And I remember, like, after the thing was the second coaching, then you showed me an Excel sheet with, I don't know, um, feels like thousands of lines in it, like how you calculated the EVs and realization factors and compared it to different situations. That I was really, really impressed. And at this point, um, I was like, okay, this guy is doing it. If he's just keep moving forward.
Mhm.
So cheers to that. And also that the intention you had, like it was just, it sounds like it was fun mainly. So how would you compare the distribution of peoples who start playing poker with the intention of having fun compared to the people who start with the intention to make money? How many of them are getting successful?
Yeah, I noticed already, like um, when I talk with people, like some people tell me, like I can notice if directly if someone has
Mm-hmm.
passion for the game or not, and it's like it comes directly out. Like when I talk about I don't know, some hands or like in general about poker, and then I'm also asking like why you do this or something, and then if it's only about like making the money or like being successful in something, I think it's it's not in your favor. Like it's for me it's like this, that I would even play it if I would be probably rich. Like I would even probably I would not study that much, or like I would not
Mm-hmm.
do as much as I do now, of course. But for me it was always, and it still is, like a very very interesting game. And I, for example, I can be lost in like Pio or like in studying for like hours and get really in the flow, and like I'm really like interested in the stuff, like. And then there are people like that just do it to get it done, just to like, or they just play and just want to make the money. And if you focus only on the money, it's like not in your favor, and it will be mentally very 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 difficult, and like this job especially, I
Yeah.
would guess.
Yeah, totally
So
agree. Also, with my expectation I made so far, this is one of the first questions I also ask when I start a coaching with a guy. Um,
mm,
and yeah, you can read it between the words he's telling you. If he really is, maybe it doesn't has to be passion, but the minimum is very interested in to get in something very good. Um,
for sure.
yeah. So
It's
what?
also how they sorry,
No,
it's
start.
also like how they ask you like things.
Hmm.
It's like if you need to pull everything out of them, you already can tell like it's, he just wants like the information and make money. But
Yeah.
like it's the kind of questions that you get, probably I think that or amount of questions, the curiosity, where you can really feel if someone is really interested or he just wants information to make money, and like that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. This result orientation intention. Like, hey, I want to know the correct solution, or why is this correct solution as it is? and but the first population, from my experience, they are guys who are interested to just make money, not understand the principles of poker. What did you learn, or what are the main things you learned from poker for your life?
Mm.
Was there something?
For the life, yeah, for sure. Like to dealing with the like mentally, you need to learn something, because if you don't learn in poker, like mentally, if you don't get strong mentally, you probably will not make it. Like I also have like everyone struggled with it, because you're not used
Yeah,
to the
sure.
swings and like everything. But the big thing is, if you manage to cope with the swings in poker, or like the mental stress, um, then you're very like set for life also, because in life everything can happen. Like, I don't know, your mother can die or something. Like it's like huge stress, and it's like the big thing is in poker it's very easy to go in the victim role. So it's like super easy to say, the variance, like the
True.
variance, and poor me, like I can do nothing. And I'm like I noticed on myself I have a big problem with that. So like I need to actively remind myself always, don't be a victim, do something. It's this like, and it's the same in life. Like if something happens, like I don't know, if let's say you have a normal job, you get fired, either you say like, like the shitty boss, or like I don't know, you give the responsibility to someone else or something else, or you take the responsibility and really get the mindset of like, anything like what happens outside of me, i I cannot affect this. Like there are some factors you can just not affect, but you can always control how you react to this things that happen outside of you. So like this is like a very important thing that I'm about to learn like more and more with poker. It's not like that it's like I just learned it or something. It's a process that you, with poker, you can be like mentally getting very strong. You can, like, of course you can make it without like being like mentally great, like, of course. But for sure, I think I take it as a second challenge, or like a second thing where I concentrate on, like to improve or like notice things in my like mental thing, like mental game. It's very very good poker for it, because it brings out insecurities, or like brings a lot out a lot of you. So I think this is the most thing that I learn about also
Okay.
like life.
Yeah, it feels like you're facing these difficulties directly, and you see the reaction if you try to avoid them. So you have the same kind of difficulties in your life, but they are not getting in your mind because you can survive with them, and a lot of guys are doing it. So in poker, you have to face it and have to solve it on a decent level that you are moving up forward. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, facing these problems, giving the opportunity to improve in it from my perspective, and then yeah, you're getting destroyed of them because you do not improve, or you do. Um, so this is what I learned also from poker for my life in relation to what you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like this victim thing. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
it's very important.
So then you are right now in a state where a lot of poker players wants to be. You playing the high stakes and can live from it. So if there comes a guy who's playing the micros um, and struggling there with moving up, would there be a specific advice you would give to them?
Yeah, take a coach. Like,
Okay.
take a good
Nice.
coach who can
Okay.
explain things very good. Like I said, it's not advertisement for you now, but like I need to like it's true, the truth. Like you, like with you, it like was, I don't know, it felt like 10 times more faster. It was like when you have a good coach and he shows you like the most important thing is like the thought processes, like or like asking the right questions, like the you need to open up this area, like to really understand this area. um for example, I don't know, like to play your range in poker, you know. And when you have a good coach who can explain it very well, you will understand it also pretty fast. But that's one of the most important things, I guess, like to really get your thought processes better, like to work on your thought processes, to ask the right questions. This is a very important thing. For example, like you come to the turn and like I can remember when you said to me always like, is this a good card for your range or for him? And then I said, yeah, for me. Ah, okay, good. And like what does it mean then for you, for your sizing? And like, and then you start to like come up with the answer yourself, like you start to think logically about it. And then it makes fun to see like the connections, if this
Mm.
factor is given or like not given, what does it mean for me, or like something like this, to think more in this area, and not to focus on like remembering things, or like to memorize stuff. Like it's more important to really understand the logic behind everything, like that you understand what you're doing, and not like yeah, that a coach gives, like if a coach just gives you something, a presentation, and says learn this and that's it, then it's not a good coach for me. Like it's it really needs to be that he looks at your thought processes, how you think about the game, and to improve them, and to really like ask you the right questions. That's a very important thing. So yeah, first thing is for sure like get a good coach. And second is like, yeah, you need to work a lot. it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's like against the work you can do nothing. And it need to be like, you need to find your way. I don't say you need to study like 4 hours, 5 hours. Like you can study like 1 or 2 hours, but like efficient, you know, like. And also playing, like if you play I don't know, 8 hours, 10 tables, and you just grind your ass off, but you're not like really conscious what you're doing, then you don't improve. For
Mm.
like, or like you get an intuition for things because you see a lot of spots, but you don't really work like on your thought processes to like really second guess some things, or like to really get better in your like better to understand the logic behind your plays. And yeah, this I think a big thing, that to not play too many tables, to get a good coach, to really focus on your thought processes, how you think about the game, um, to try to like be more curious about things, to not take it as it get like as you get it, the things. Like for example, your coach says make this and this on the c-bet range on that flop, and you say okay, but it
Why?
should not be like this. It's like always why. Like this question why
Yeah.
is very important in everything. Like if you study with Payo and like Payo block bets on the turn or something, like something surprising, or like you don't really understand it, but you just say like okay, like next, or like I don't know, like
Mm.
you don't put the like you're not interested in it.
Mm.
So like every time something is there that could be something where you can improve, or like where you don't get it, you need to dig more into it.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, don't spend like 5 hours on like a little thing. Don't. That's a bit my problem, that I get like too focused on things, like that I really want to know the answer, but then it's like not even bringing any EV because it's a little thing, you know. So I need to be really, for myself, I need to be careful where I put my focus on. Like I really
Yeah.
need to look, okay, it's taking too long, it's not worth it, go on. But some people are not doing this at all, and they just move on like too fast and
Yeah.
don't really dig more into the spots. I would say that's also one big thing.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
overall, so yeah, focused work. It's like this.
Yeah. The interest is a nice catalyst of the why questions, and
Mm-hmm.
feels like when you ask enough times the why question, that then there comes the connection, the, the connection why it really is something happening and how it correlates with other content. And better having an issue like you or me, like going too deep into something than the opposite. So I think roughly said the 80-20 rule.
Mm-hmm.
I explained it pretty well, where you try to get as efficiently as possible. Um, but yeah, I highly prefer, as I said, the issue to going into something too deep than too less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and yeah, thanks for the warm words. I really
One
appreciate.
thing I remember now, like
Mm-hmm.
what I forgot for this problem, like that we have. It's like to going too much into it, or also
Mm-hmm.
like when you don't do it, you know. A big thing is also what I forgot to say is like find someone who you work with, and it if you feel like you will feel like if there's chemistry between you and the other guy, like with the thinking, if you connect very good or not,
Mm-hmm.
and try to like more people out, you know, like try to work with this guy, with that guy, and you will feel like with this one guy you're not getting anywhere, or like it's like not flowing, nothing, and then the other guy you start talking about stuff and like coming up he puts out the best out of you, you know, like the stuff that you don't get yourself out, he will help you, and you will help the other guy to get out more out of you and be more efficient, or like you go too deep in one spot and the other guy say, yo, like it's enough, like we can move on or something, you know, like um it's good to work with someone else, like I think this is also one big thing, I guess, to have like one study partner or like maybe two, but not too much. Like it should not be too much discussion going on, because this is then just not moving forward.
Yeah.
Too much opinions.
Yeah. Like high quality learning partners, studying partners.
Yes, yes. It doesn't need to be someone who's like much better than you or
Right.
something. It's just like on your same level. Have someone on your, yeah, a good thing is like have one coach, have someone on your same level, and maybe you can have someone like, I don't know, like some guy who's under like playing below you, that you can show some stuff, you know, like that
Mm-hmm.
you can teach, that you can talk with, like you can tell this guy, yeah, when you have questions you can ask me, and you do something good for him, your coach does something good for you, and it's like a good thing. I think these three people are very important to have.
Before you figured this out, do you was a lonely cowboy boy?
Yeah,
Um, okay, yeah, or more the social
just
boy.
like just like I was just playing, learning by myself.
Yeah.
Then one guy, like Boris was his name. He was grinding with me 16 NL or 10 NL always.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes me in the chat, like on the table, like, yo man, it means Skype or something. And then he said like, yeah, you're playing good, blah blah, I wanted to ask if you want to work with me. And then we started to work, and like I remember the first time he showed me simple post flop or something, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then we started to work there. It was yeah, but it was not like very efficient back then. Just when I got the coach like you, then I got more efficient. Like you need
Hmm.
coach, same guy, and one below, like preferably. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, totally can feel this. I'm also, I think I was always a lonely cowboy boy. Um, and yeah, because I always made bad experience with learning in a group together, just always. And it also can depends, of course, on me. So I was just more efficiently working alone, doing things alone. But when there comes a time, and hopefully as soon in a young state of a human, that it can have such a nice positive impact of doing something together, as you explained it, and making this experience will then change a lot for a lonely cowboy. Yeah.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
can totally feel what you mean by that. Um, all right. Well, um, right now you're playing the high stakes, so there's a huge variance included, and because the the stakes are so high, it's pretty usual to have also downswings and not always upswings. So as you mentioned to me before, you are right now facing a roughly said 45k dollars downswing. So how you are facing it and what kind of emotions do you have in on this journey, and yeah, how are you handling it? Can you tell us
Yeah,
a little bit in you?
sure. Like yeah, the first thing that come up is like always like this insecurities, and
Mm-hmm.
you should see it as like this is the point where you really improve normally. Like you can either take it as like opportunity to improve a lot, like mentally in your game, everything, or you can be the victim and just say like, yeah, I'm sorry for myself. I can do
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Like it's nothing for me. Like these
Yeah.
thoughts go through my head also. Like I get myself like I caught myself oftentimes like also panic like to talk very bad to myself also, like to say like, oh, you're stupid, why you did this. And you need to be like very focused, or like you need to pay attention in this period, that you don't lose yourself into this victim mentality, and to act like to do everything you can to get out of this.
Do you have
So like
a solution for it, like a short time solution when you're feeling, oh, my brain tries to get me as a victim?
yeah, like one good thing is exercise for sure. This is like helping a lot because it's something you actively do. It's like
What kind of exercise?
I found I found running for me. Like,
Okay.
but I thought always running is very boring, but running is like one of the best things I saw now for myself, is like for mental strength,
Hmm.
because you just can tell yourself like you can while you're running you're like feeling like, ah, now it's enough, you know. But when you tell yourself like push it a bit more, push it a bit more, like tell yourself like, ah, like one more round or one more like I don't know, like kilometer or something, and you push yourself and you're like actively like motivating yourself, and like you get really like this feeling you are under control, you know, like you're like doing
Hmm.
something. And this is very important also, like when you, if you have only poker, if you're only in front of the PC, that's only your only life, you're like, it's getting difficult. Like it's like your world is like this, and yeah, sport is like helping with that a lot, like to get out, to run, go for a run. It's like it's very good. Or like any kind of exercises, to be honest, like you can do. I think just like yoga or something is not so, like you need something high energy, where you put a lot of energy into it. I would recommend this for sure. This helps always. Then like be very um, careful what you think about, like to really track how you feel while you're playing and what you're thinking. while you're playing. So maybe it's like you start getting angry or yeah, I don't know, like get angry on other people or you get angry on yourself, and to be like very focused what you're thinking and your actions and stuff. This is also one thing, and then you can actively change it. So if you feel like anger is coming up or something, like you go for a run or I don't know, like something like this. This is I try now a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
What
Okay.
else? Then like studying. Like I have always the problem. I get my confidence goes down, but it's normal. I
About
think
your
for
game
everyone.
plan, your own
Yeah,
one.
like yeah. About my game,
Okay.
like I start struggling for sure. um I second I what I notice, I start second guessing my stuff always. Like my intuition is not there anymore, and
Mm.
I overanalyze. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
analyzing every spot. Is this a C bet? is that,
Yeah. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
did I C bet here normally? Like, it's like some simple stuff where you normally don't think about, you start thinking about, and in the spot where you should ask yourself some stuff, you're blank. So like
I
it's
see.
like this this weird thing that's going on, and to remind yourself always also, like you can do this normally, like you really need to actively remind yourself normally you're good, like you can do this, you and you need to trust in all the hours that you already put into it.
Yeah. And do
I
you
put in,
force yourself into actions which you wouldn't never do, but you think you have to do it now because you're down, so you have to
yeah,
compensate it?
like I am very
Like a trigger.
very unhappy when I'm in the downswing. Like I'm calling more. I'm like
Okay.
if I'm not observing myself,
Uh huh.
I start to call more or to like stuff like this, or like to bluff more, or like I take this close spot. You know, like it's a close
Yeah.
spot. You can just fall. Like nah, like I want my money. Like in this sense, I want my money back or something. You know, like to I take always like the more
Pushing the
variance.
variance.
Yes, and this is one big thing that I noticed. Like maybe like like I don't know, half year ago, a few months ago, I really noticed that is a bigger problem,
Hmm.
and I really try now to work a lot. At the moment, I work a lot on my mental game. It's very important now in this state of where I am. So there's also one big thing like that I take always like this more variance lines and stuff like this. It's yeah, like there's also one thing you just need to observe yourself and to ask yourself again. It's the same like you study pio, or like you study a sport, you study yourself. It's like why I do this, like I'm getting angry now. So and there's an answer to it. Like you need to just be interested in it and to dig deeper, and to find interest also in your own self, you know, like to in your own like mental thing. Like you find out stuff from yourself in this periods where it goes very bad. All the shit comes out of you, you know, like everything that is not great, or like
Hmm.
where you struggle, it really comes out, you know. Like
Hmm.
if it goes good, I don't have like my self-confidence is like wow, I don't have problems, I'm crushing everything. But as soon it goes down, like you go in the downswing, then the insecurity comes out. Then a lot of interesting things come out. So you can go with it like with more interest, to see it as an opportunity, and like more to see it with more interest in yourself, and like to really see it as an opportunity to improve like yourself. You know, like not even about poker. It's like about yourself, like because this is a big a thing that it's inside you that comes out, like insecurity or something, or like I don't know what else there is, but and then you can work on it and be active on it. So just the worst thing is don't to be a victim, to go in the victim role. As soon you say to yourself, like this variance, like this, it's unbelievable, this guy is running so good and me and blah, like you make yourself so special. Like either you make
Hmm.
yourself special in the way that you're like great, you're the best, or you make yourself special that you're the one, you got picked to run bad in poker for all the life. You know, like it's like your ego. I think the thing like with ego, either you want to the ego sees you as the best or as the victim, as everyone is against you. You know, so it's kind of like this. I don't know. I'm still working on it, so
I think
I
always
don't know.
we work on that, but getting
Yeah,
better,
yeah,
just
it's
making
like,
progress. That's it.
of course,
There's
it's
there's no
there's no
end.
finish line. I know,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, yeah. Totally agree with you. Totally. Um, and for me, it helps when I'm in a downswing that I see it like a race. So imagine you're playing, I know, 2K, and there are 200 guys who wants to maximize their own win rate. So every one of these guys are also facing downswings. And as you mentioned, in these downswings, there exists a lot of potential to getting better or to handling it better than another guy on your pool. So if you're doing this in the mid and long term run, handling it better, the downswing, than other guys, then you will improve in relation to your pool and getting better and moving up.
Yeah, of
So
course.
this, I always need a challenge, and having this in my mind helps me way better to facing some downswings.
Yeah, it's like your how you see, how you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. If you change the perspective, it's always now how we talk. It's very easy to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I can talk now so good about it, but if you're in the situation, then
Yeah.
it changes again. So
Yeah.
like this is much easier than said. Like it's one of the biggest challenges, like to really get when you're one time in this negative state, like really everything is shit and stuff, to pull you out yourself from this, it's a big challenge, but it's good to face it, like,
Hmm.
and to really try your
Hmm.
best there.
Yeah. When I sum the best poker players together, like Steffen Sondheimer, for example, they have a pretty good emotion controlling.
Hmm.
So I think this is very necessary and is, yeah, one of the main um, the main points to reach the top. Because as you mentioned, it's very easy to talk right now about it, but I mean that's emotions, and the emotions, trying to fix them or to understand them. Yeah, it's mostly only solvable when you are in the present with them and facing them directly, then talking afterwards about it, and then it's
Hmm.
very easy. I was wrong, sorry, or I should do this or do this. So yeah, agree.
That's a big thing, the present, to stay present,
Mm-hmm.
also in this bad situations.
Mm, so okay, when it comes to the high stakes, I think you heard from it, the Federer Kruse scandal. Um, so real time assistance, the bot using, but even they also exist positive perspectives like the bridge to esport, what for example Raise Your Edge is doing, or No Limit GG. So overall, how do you see from your perspective the future of poker, of online poker especially?
Could you explain more because there I'm not like I don't know much about like the esport, like the
Mm-hmm.
bridge about esport, how it helps to poker, or like in what kind
Mm-hmm.
of way?
Yeah, sure. So, so far I know is that Race to Edge has also some teams who are active in the esports scene, like in Counter Strike,
Hmm.
and they building then their a grind house, and where their team, the Counter Strike team, is improving themselves, and they bring it together to the poker players a bit, so that um, and this, from my perspective, it looks like they try to make poker, say, defining it as a competition, so that they can see it not more like a Glücksspiel, a
A
luck,
gambling game.
yeah, right, gambling game anymore, and more like a competition. Um, so it's getting interesting. Okay, who is really the best, or making a challenge? Like we are right now seeing Daniel Negreanu versus Doug Pork. I think
This
something like
American.
this we need way more. Challenging the one of the best players against Daniel, um, and putting there the focus on, so like making poker as a competition.
Hmm.
I think it is a possible good future for poker. Um, so yeah, this is one part, but of course there exist also some other parts like bots or real-time assistants, which will or already are a problem. Um, yeah, so what do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm also personally like uh thinking about this like the RTA and stuff because it's shitty. Like you put like 4 years of
Mm-hmm.
work into it. Like I still like put 2 3 hours like studying into it, like into poker every day. And then some random guy comes with like the shit and destroys all your work. This is like terrible. And yeah, like I told you already, like I got my account got frozen, which was like the most one of the most shocking things that happened to me on
On
Stars,
post, yeah. Okay.
Poker Stars. And I didn't know like what's wrong. I wanted to log in, and like it said frozen, and then I got an email that it's like under like that they control me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I answered everything there, like every question. They asked like a lot of stuff. Like it was kind of like they wanted to know who's this guy, you know, like because if you have just a guy like a screen name, they don't really know him. Like, and then they asked me like how I learned poker, like really my background. They tested my if it makes sense my story, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a very good thing, to be honest. What I think, like because they saw I answered and like I had like no problem. They said okay, it's fine, and you can keep playing. And I really like on that side, like I think Poker Stars GG can really do a lot against it. Like not a lot, but like I mean they are they need to do something. You know, like they
Mm-hmm.
you need to imagine how much money is behind it. They will not just
Right.
let them push away. You know, like they will do something. And they are already doing something, which is good to see that they like directly reacting to this. And they're testing people. Like if you for example you take a random guy, you know, like who's using it, and they test him and he doesn't have like a really like a story that makes sense, or like some people that can back it up, or you know that, then it's kind of strange, you know. But the problem is to really tell 100% that someone is using something.
Hmm.
It's also not like it's
Hmm.
the risk is that some people get banned maybe that are not guilty, you know, that
Where's the
like
threshold?
yeah, where's the threshold? You cannot just say like this is what. And how can they prove, like how can they really prove, even if the story doesn't make sense, how can they prove that you use something? It's
If
and
proof means 100%, I think it's not possible.
it's
But is it fine to ban someone with a 99.999 percentage
yes,
probability that
yeah,
he was cheating?
yeah,
What
probably
What's
yes,
your
probably
opinion
yes,
about it? Yeah, okay. And
probably
99%?
yes. Yeah, where's the cut? Yes, I know. Like
What do?
it's
Sorry.
yeah, it's difficult to say. Like it's difficult to say when is enough evidence there
Yeah,
that you can get banned.
yeah,
This is the problem.
yeah.
Like but like I was thinking because I think about like how could you do something against this. And there's some I think there are some like things we could do like as a poker community. Like it's Because poker stars can just like, even if they look how he's playing, like I hear sometimes they want you to make a live session, you know, like that they you need to send them a video how you play live and with talking. But I think more like I have just idea, you know, but if like there would be like a community or like a, let's say like 5 to 10 or like I don't know how many, like very trust, like where the trust factor is very high in these players, you know, like let's say my old coach from Bluff the Spot, which is like MMA Sherdog, like he's an amazing player, like he's like the, yeah, with trust, like he's one of the guys I would trust, like I would send him now like 30K or something and I would trust him, you know, like he's very trustful person. And yeah, people like this, if they would like, it's difficult, but like if these people would create like I don't know how to explain in English, that they judge, you know, like that they like some people can report to these people, hey, this guy is like strange, or like
I
this
see.
hand, can you look into this hands, because
Yeah,
they're very
I see.
knowledgeable. PokerStars doesn't have like a share dog or like a very strong player in their I think, I don't know about them, but like it would be like a system where like the poker community has to hold together for this, you know, like it's a very big challenge. The risk that I see is that like some players say that the anxiety gets now takes over, you know, like all the players get like oh, they're he's using it, oh like, you know, like this paranoia
Yeah.
gets now there. And what, like this would be a thing where I was thinking about like that, like MMA or like some very high stakes players create this, and they help the poker community with it, and they help themselves with it, you know, like because if this works, we could probably save like poker with that. Like if for example I play, you know, like on 500 zoom or something, I think like one thing is a bit weird or something, maybe my knowledge is not there, you know, maybe I'm just worse than the other guy and I don't know, but I can send this to this like people, like I don't know, MMA Sherdog and stuff. They can look into it, and if there's like some evidence or like some subposition, I don't know
Yeah,
English,
got it.
Verdacht, they can test him. You know, like they
Yeah.
really can. You need to it. Yeah, he needs to do this then, like to like make a live play in front of them, you know, and then he needs to explain what was going on in his hands where he got reported to them. What is your thought process there, you know, like because um yeah, these people that use this RTA often don't study this, but like they just copy paste, and they don't have really the thinking behind it. I think that like the level they play don't match the thinking process that they have, you know, and a very good player can tell if someone is on this level what he is showing or if he's not. So something like this, maybe,
Okay.
like I was just thinking about this, you know, like, but there are some options, I think, like some possibilities you could do um to work against this, like maybe this like group of people, like poker community, could work together with the poker sites, you know, and something like this. It needs to work together with the poker side, of course, but something like this I would think of that could work. But there are options, but the smaller sites, there I'm like scared, you know, like I'm already scared to play on like smaller sites for sure, because their security is not that great.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money to what you mentioned, this kind of solution, or also having this techniques of getting an Verdacht, suspicion, yeah, about
Suspicion. Suspicion.
suspicion, right, about is it a human or robot who's playing? Just a few days ago, there was a group or identified a group of bots, and as I saw them on 2+2, it was about I think 300 guys, and most of them, or yeah, I think, or every one of them was playing on a very small side. I didn't even recognize that it exists. So this is probably pretty good that it's mainly not happening on Stars, GG Poker, the big sites. But right now, I also wouldn't play on any small site, on any very small site, who
Yeah.
doesn't have the techniques to, to identify it. But I was, or in the past, as I was a professional in Counter-Strike, I was banned, which at this time destroys mainly my life, because I invested everything in it. And the reason why I was banned was cheating. Like, it was aimbot and wallhack, or they said it, but the human judged this about me. So they didn't have a proof. And I know I didn't cheat. And now a few years, or after a couple of years, I expect, with additional information, that there was money involved and power to get me banned, so that our team can't play the finals and the EPS. So that they use humans like MMA Sherdog, where the probability is very high, we can trust them, and he has a big knowledge base in his brain. To put this also as an argument to do a deeper investigation, I was vowing if humans would do the final judgment. So I'm the guy who is would prefer a technical approach of get the final judgment about someone. And I think there exist some approaches, Giovanni. I think you can quantize natural game plan and unnatural game plan. For example, the more complex a spot gets, the more mistakes a human should do. So on a flop, you play very close to a GTO board, and depending on the action, it's getting more and more complex on the turn and river. So the probability that you are doing a mistake should increase also with the complexity of the spot. If they build a model of it, they should measure who is a robot, because a robot, there should be always the same gap between playing perfectly and what he finally plays on the table. And a human, there should be a natural curve. Like if this very simple.
Yeah, I understand. Like,
Okay, cool.
because, like, we have like the mental factor, or like this, like we are not every day the same. Like, one time you play your A game, one day you play your C game.
Yeah.
And if there's like just a line, yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, if there's like not seeing any like differences in your playing style, or like playing like how you play in the level of performance. If you don't see any difference there,
Yes.
then you can tell like with like very high accuracy if someone is like using something like this.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So like
from a mindset perspective and also from a technical perspective, like even when your mindset would work perfectly, you should do way more mistakes on a river where the flop action was check, raise, call, and turn, check, or whatever. And the probability of doing a mistake on a river should be way higher than flop, c-bet, yes or no. So and also what you mentioned, summing this together, building a very smart model of it, and then automatically, if there is an suspicion, put it into the model and see what happens.
Maybe you can combine this like these top players with the, like that first you report him to them, then
Yeah.
they look or like something like this. But you can do something for
Yeah.
sure. You just need the money or like the resources for it.
Exactly.
But poker star or like
Yeah.
the big sites, they have like I think like they need to do something, you know, like. And this is like a very very, and they should ask more the poker community, like, because like ideas like this we can get we get the ideas, like we know how this stuff works, and like we get like very good ideas against it for sure, like
Yeah.
already this idea is very good, like it's very smart idea.
Did you think that as GG Poker banned the players who said, yeah, they're using a real-time
No,
assistance?
it's shit.
Okay.
This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you cannot just randomly like ban someone, like it's
Do you give him the credit that they have a smart algorithmus who
yeah,
checked it out?
something like you that you thought like they need, it's like from nothing they have it now. I don't give them the
Yeah.
probably not.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
totally
too
agree.
spontaneous. It's too spontaneous. Maybe they have like more people working on it, or like more like investigation or something, but you need to really like have the I don't think they have like this program that you said. No, like they don't have something like this.
Yeah, and this I'm a bit worrying, like about GG Poker, for example. I mean, there there comes a with Feder Cruz a scandal, and then 1 week later they banned a couple of guys because of RTA the first time. Yeah, to be honest, I also think this is bullshit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like at least they warn you, know, I think, like before they ban you or something. But like this is not a great thing. It's not good for the poker community for sure. It's like we get treated as like dirt, you know, like the professional players. It's like they don't care at all about them, like nothing. Not at all. And it's not a good thing. Like we are also part of it, you know, like it's not like that we are all willing to give, you know, like we put in the volume, we rake, like we are, it's not like that we only like take from them, or like what are we taking from them, you know. So it's
Yeah.
of course there need to be a balance, like this all this where I'm against is like all this like bum hunt, like this crazy bum hunting, like that the fish leaves and everyone sits out, or like the fish sit out, he doesn't even leave the table and everyone sits out. This is, what is this?
Yeah.
Like normal, like against this, to do something against this for sure 100%. Like this is just being selfish and like no respect about the people, like it's just um this is a bad thing, but there need to be like a balance between both sides. You should like they treat like the professional like dirt, like they're just like scamming the people, like I don't know, like the yeah, there need to be a balance for sure.
Right. Totally agree with you. And while talking now over 1 hour, is there something else you would like to share?
Shout out to Love the Spot.
Okay.
It's also
All
yeah,
right.
they helped me also a lot for
All right. Cool.
improving.
Then Giovanni, thanks for your time you put in there and your opinions. I really, really enjoyed it to talk with you. And I'm sure also a lot of guys who are watching it. So again, thanks, man. And yeah, hopefully we will do this more often in the future.
Okay, sure, why not, it's interesting.
Okay, bye, Giovanni.
Ciao ciao.